Hi everyone, welcome back. It is CC Cycle 1 and week 2, and today we covered memory work like this. Starting with math, we have the 3s and 4s skip counting today. So the tune for the 3s goes to Jingle Bells, and so I brought in just some bells that we had. You can use whatever bells you have. I also brought a baby toy that had bells on it. I've seen bracelets that have little bells. If you don't have bells, you could use shakers or any tambourines, whatever you have, or you could clap if you want to. But if you have bells, it's fun to use them. And we brought that in class and sang it to the tune. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, and so forth. So what we did in class though, because I didn't have bells for everyone, I had the 2 sets of bells, and so we started on either side of the classroom and we took turns with who got to be our bell shaker. And we moved down the line until everyone in class had a turn to shake the bells for us skip counting the 3s. And that was fun. For the 4s, we sing it to the tune of This Old Man. And so for that, it made me think of a cane. And so I shared a story about when I was in basketball camp and we learned how. Joining me, Miss Sparrow here. She's going to help us do the 4s. So for the 4s, we sing it to the tune of This Old Man. And for class, we took out pretend canes with our fingers to help us balance on one foot. We use our canes, imaginary canes, to hook onto something so that we can balance on one foot. And so for our physical activity for this, we are going to stand on one foot and we're going to take out that cane, which should remind us of this old man. And we're going to try to see if we can stand on one foot for the duration of the entire skip counting. And so it sounds like this. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 30. Okay, and that is our 4s. For English today, we are learning the prepositions, and we're going to start with 5 prepositions, and I will link below a video of all of the motions to a song that we're going to be doing for the next quite a few weeks where we cover all the prepositions. We're going to put it together in sort of a dance/song. And I'll link that video of it completed so everyone can see what it looks like below. But these are the prepositions for this week. They are about, above, across. You just point your fingers across. So about, above, across, after, against. Let's do it one more time, a little bit faster. About, above, across, after, against. Okay, that is awesome. So those are our prepositions for this week. For history, tell me about commandments 6 through 10. We are going to continue with the last 5 of this segment, and we're going to do it some more hand motions so that we can remember with our hands, with our counting on our hands. So number 6 is thou shalt not murder. Okay, so we're going to poke our number 6 finger into our 5 hand. And then number 7, thou shalt not commit adultery. So we're going to cross those 2 fingers over there as a sign of staying committed and faithful to our spouse. Number 8 is thou shalt not steal. So we're going to take our 5 and like we're stealing our 3 fingers. And then for number 9, we have thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. So we're going to cover our mouth so we don't bear false witness against our neighbor. And then number 10 is thou shalt not covet. So we're going to take our 10 fingers, turn them into binoculars, and look around like we're looking at other people's. Because what covet means is to see what someone else has and want it for yourself, right? So we're not going to covet looking around. The Bible teaches us to be thankful for what we have and content, right? And so those are the commandments 6 through 10. For Latin, we're going over the noun cases again this week. And so same as last week, we sang it to the tune of 3 Blind Mice. And so it's Latin noun cases, nominative, subject, genitive, possessive, dative, indirect object, accusative, direct object, ablative, object of the preposition, And for the ablative, we are grabbing our abs. So that's how that goes. And so that's Latin. For a timeline, we have the 7 wonders. Wonders, we go like this with our hands, like we're wandering something of the ancient world. We're gonna take our hand like this, like we are grabbing an old man's long beard. Okay, we have patriarchs of Israel. We do the sign for father as patriarchs. And then in the song, we have the motion for 2,000. And this represents 1,000, 3 zeros. And that is how that works. And we have Hittites and Canaanites. For Hittites, we're going to hit our fist into our hand. So Hittites and Canaanites, we go like this because the Canaanites were known for worshiping the bulls. So this is the sign for bull. And then we have Cush. This is a K and ASL for Cush. And then Assyrians were known for their archery skills. So we're going to take a bow, pull it back, and release it for Assyrians every time we refer to Assyrians in the timeline. And then the next one is Babylonians. They were known for writing the letter of the law. So we're going to take out our L and we're going to go like this every time we refer to Babylonians. Okay. And then the last one is China's Shang Dynasty. And for that, we do the sign of the buttons on their coats. So there's a button here, here, and down here. So China's Shang Dynasty. And that is what our timeline looks like this week. And so for geography, we are learning the Assyrian Empire. And for that, we took out our maps and we used our dry erase marker to identify all 5 of the different areas. We started up at the Black Sea and we traced around the Black Sea and noted that it kind of looks like a B, a capital B, laying on its back. So we traced the Black Sea with a capital B. And then we moved over to the Caspian Sea, which is kind of in the shape of a C if you do a bubble letter around it. So that was Caspian Sea. Then we moved down to the Persian Gulf and traced that with our dry erase marker. And then we went over to the Red Sea, which is the next sea that's if you're going in a circle. And then right in the middle is Babylon, which falls along the Euphrates River. And if you make a circle around all those seas and then put Babylon in the middle, we notice that it's actually like a target, which is kind of cool to remember the Assyrian Empire because they are known for their archery skills. So that is how we covered the geography today. As always, I'll show them and then I will point to it and they'll tell me what it is and we stack them on as we go so that by the time we're going around at the end, we've got all the different locations that we've been repeating as we've been learning each one. And that's how we do geography. The target and the bow and arrow idea, I got that from Mrs. C. I thought that was so perfect for the Assyrian Empire. That kind of helps tie it all together. And then last but not least, we have science. And for science this week, we are learning what are the kingdoms of living things. So last week we learned the classifications. This week we're learning the kingdoms of living things. And for this, today up on the board, I drew a couple different symbols next to each of these so that it could kind of trigger our memory. Next to Animalia, I drew a cat because that's an animal. For plantae, we drew a plant. For fungi, we did a mushroom, and Sparrow drew our mushroom on our board this time. For protista, we did a couple dots, kind of looking like slime a little bit. Archaea, we drew little circles to kind of draw what archaea looks like with different colors. And bacteria, we just made a little burst for bacteria. We also did this though in class to motions, and the motions look like this. Animalia, we did a cat for animal. Plantae, we got all the way on the ground every time we reviewed it, and then we stood up like a tree. That's right, that's right. And then for fungi, we bent back down to the ground and put our hands over our head like a mushroom. And then for protista, we did like our hands like this, like slime. And then for archaea, we did our hands like a video game, like at an arcade. And then for bacteria, we patted our backs to remind us of bacteria. Someone also asked about if there was an option to sing this to a tune. If you'd like to sing it to a tune at home, one of the ideas that I saw that I thought was a great fit was you can sing it to the tune of the Addams Family. That's right. So it sounds like this. What are the kingdoms of living things? What are the kingdoms? What are the kingdoms of living things? Animalia and plantae, fungi and protista, archaea and bacteria, the kingdoms of living things. Da-da-da-dum, 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 da-da-da-dum. Okay, that is the kingdom of living things, and that is how you could put that to a song if that helps for getting that down into memory. I hope that's helpful, and today was a great day. Everyone did so good learning all of the new memory work. We are off to the races here with week 2. Hope you guys have a great week. If you have any questions, as always, let me know. You can reach out in the comments, and otherwise, we will see you next week. Have a great weekend, everyone. Bye.